Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you don't miss when I post a new video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Today is Tuesday, and I am about to head to the fertility specialist. So if you watched last week's video, you saw that we have officially started IUI cycle number 4. Well, keeping our same protocol. I'm really out of breath, I'm sorry. But we want to kind of be proactive and see what our options are should we have to move forward with a 5th IUI. So this appointment is actually to discuss what might go on next month if this IUI is not successful. So I'm about to head out, and Aya's meeting me there. She had a class, so she's going to meet me out at the fertility specialist, and we're going to see what's going on with moving forward. So stay tuned because we are about to see what our options are. I'm late. I'm way late. My appointment's in 2 minutes, and Aya's already there, and I'm late. So she is signing me in. I mean, I'm not late yet. I'm like on time, but I'm way later than I meant to be. So she's signing me in, and we're gonna get this appointment on the road, but I hate being late, and I cannot believe I'm late.
So we have 3 options.
Okay.
2 of which I think are better than the other.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you all of it.
Okay.
And yeah. So one is that because you're so young, that we do 6 full cycles of doing the oral medicine with the insemination. And we offer families up to 6.
Okay.
There's no magic number about having to do 6 before you go do something else more aggressive. But you're young, and your scores on your fertility test and everything before we got to treatment looked pretty good.
Okay.
So I don't have a lot of firm answers as to why it didn't work. You had great egg development. You ovulated. We had healthy sperm in the right place at the right time. Should have worked.
Right.
But it didn't. You don't have to do 6 to go more aggressive.
Okay.
But one of the options is don't change it.
Okay.
Go the full 6 before we do something a little more aggressive.
Okay.
So let me tell you what the other more aggressive options would be.
Okay.
So one is that instead of using oral medicine, which is really designed to help you make, on average, it's just 1 egg.
Okay.
Sometimes you can bring up a 2nd egg with the oral medicines. You can use injectable fertility medicine.
Okay.
And I'll back up for a second and say that because I don't think that going up to the high dose of letrozole makes sense. You had a good response.
Right.
You ovulated appropriately. It seems like, well, gosh, I didn't get pregnant. We should go up to sort of the next step in the dosing. That doesn't actually work. We actually like to use the lowest effective dose of these oral medicines. I don't know that adding another pill, making it 3 pills a night of your letrozole, is going to get us to goal. I think you're on. If we're going to stay with this treatment option, I think you're on the right dose of the letrozole. So I'm backing up for a second. Sorry that I'm jumping around a little bit. But if we were to do something other than oral medicine, it would be to use injectable fertility medicine. And what that is a synthetic form of a hormone your body's already making, which is FSH, that comes from the pituitary, which is the same area of the brain that's responsible for prolactin and several other hormones in your body.
That I'm very familiar with.
Yeah,
I was going to say, how's that?
Sadly, you have had to learn a lot about that recently.
Yes.
Made in the same area of the brain, and that's the signal to help develop and grow follicles on the ovary.
Okay.
That's the brain signal to the ovary. We're giving it in higher amounts than your body's used to seeing.
Okay.
When you take the injectable medicines, it's very common for more than 1 egg to come forward.
Okay.
So if you were a regular ovulator, if you had regular cycles, body's usually selecting 1. It may have a pool of follicles. It may have 5 or 10, 15, sometimes 20 or more follicles come forward every month. But 1 wins the race and ovulates, and the rest die. Okay. We're giving more signal to the process. You already know where I'm going with this up to your face. So that more than 1 egg comes forward and ovulates. Okay. The more eggs we have that ovulate, the higher the chance of getting pregnant. Right. But
which carries its own risk.
Increased risk of getting pregnant with more than 1 baby.
Okay.
So we are getting a more aggressive, a higher chance of overall baby, but we're accepting a higher multiple rate when we do it. Right. When we're talking about oral medicines, we're talking 6 to 8% risk of getting pregnant with more than 1 baby. When we're talking about the injectable medicines, that risk is up to 1 in 3.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So kind of where I'm at, and I know you've only gone through 2 of our 3 options, but like obviously we've been doing this even before we were doing like formal fertility treatments. I was still being treated with Clomid, and we had still done at home and whatever. But like I know myself well enough to know that somebody's gonna have to tell me when it's time to stop, and somebody's gonna have to tell me when it's time for us to move on to something more aggressive, because like emotionally I won't be able to make that choice. And she's not going to be able to make that choice because she's going to say, whatever you want to do, I'll do, because we've had this conversation many times. So if staying where we are is the conservative and responsible thing to do, yet we're still looking at like possibilities, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine not moving on to anything more aggressive until that's like, this is what we need to do. This is kind of the next steps. We've kind of exhausted everything where we are. And that's just...
I would say we typically give people in your age group with your sort of fertility numbers up to 6 tries.
Okay.
But I have absolutely had families come back to me and say, for emotional help and personal reasons, we're interested in being a little more proactive and moving on to that next step a little bit sooner.
I think that for me, just kind of knowing what I know about what you want, I would exhaust the 6 first.
Okay.
Because at that point, you can say definitively, we've exhausted
done
all of our
everything
options here. What is the next step? Instead of, oh, well, what would have happened if on that 4th or 5th try we got pregnant?
Okay.
So, and it's just because, I wouldn't say whatever you want to do. Can't believe you thought that. No, but that's what I would say. I'd say go for the 6. I'd go for the 6 first.
The deal is, and I don't want to scare you, we do the injectable medicines frequently.
Right.
And I think we're really safe in the way that we monitor and we approach them. But I have a very humbling job in that we kind of offer the injectable medicines with insemination up to 3 times.
Okay.
And if we're not pregnant after that, we're talking about IVF.
Right.
Which is the most aggressive, which is the 3rd option.
Yeah, we're not there. I know we're not there yet. We've talked about that.
Fair enough. And I'm not, the one, let me just tell you, the reason why I put it in this discussion this soon, and I don't think you need it. You're young, your scores are exactly where they should be. There's no reason on this end of this process to think that sometimes I have to tell families, no, you need to be at IVF.
Right.
That's really the only responsible choice. And I know it may not be what you want to do, but I think medically that's what we should be looking at.
Right.
Obviously families can trump me if they don't want to do it, but I can push a little bit if I have reason to. The reason why I want to bring it up is only to say that with IVF you have a lot more control.
Yeah.
So with the injectable medicines, for it to work, we're hoping to trick your body into making more than one egg ovulate.
Right.
Every egg is a potential baby. And a little bit of this is out of our control. In the sense that you're growing eggs, you will take a shot to force ovulation 36 to 40 hours after you take it. That's when we time the insemination. And then we don't know how many eggs will fertilize. Right. We don't know how many fertilized eggs will actually implant. With IVF, you have a lot more control. You're really young. Yeah. You may decide to just put one embryo back at a time. So if you get pregnant, it's overwhelming odds of just one baby at a time.
Right.
Still possible to split and have identical twins, but it's not as likely as one singleton pregnancy from one embryo transfer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, at the end of it, you can put embryos into a freezer for future attempts at pregnancy. I'm not trying to push you in that direction, and y'all had some strong views on it, so I know you've talked about it, and I'm not trying to change any of that. But the thing is that you can control your multiple rate with IVF in a lot more, a lot more sure fashion than you can with the sort of middle step that we may have to go to in the future.
Okay.
Yeah. What? So, leaning towards completing the full 6 of the oral medicine with inseminations. If it makes you feel any better, if I were seeing me and sitting in that seat, I'd do that.
Okay.
I think it's less cost, it's less risk.
Yes.
And then if we're not pregnant after the 6 runs, or if y'all get home and you say our number's really 5.
Okay.
Or even 4. Obviously we're in 4th cycle right now, so I wouldn't give that up. But if you get home and you feel differently about it, I hope you do it. You just call and let Cynthia or Misty know that y'all want to go do the injectable medicines. We have to order the medicines from a mail order pharmacy.
Okay.
You have to have a quick class to learn how to use them. You'll Zoom through it, but the class, the only people I've ever had screw up the medicines are people that waive the class, that come on in and learn how to do them. And then we could get started with the next period. So it would be taking a break for a month, getting
Okay.
the medicine in and getting everything situated.
Okay.
But I lean towards completing the 6, and then if we're not pregnant, we would go into injections.
Okay.
That would be 3 cycles, 3 successful cycles. The very first one, if I under or overdose you and we have to stop with the medicine to regroup the following month, that wouldn't count towards
Okay.
the 3. And then if not pregnant, then we talk about IVF. You don't ever have to do IVF if it's not meant to be. That I get it, but that's at that point. If you're talking about sort of preparing yourself for the series of where we would go next, that's where IVF would fit in.
Okay.
Or if y'all get home and think about the multiple risks we talked about, and you said for us that's just not something we're comfortable with, then IVF comes on board after the 6 cycles of the oral medicine.
Okay. No, I'm good. Good. Come back next Tuesday for a follicle check, by the way.
That's right. And hopefully we don't need any of this that we're working on.
Right. That's
Right.
the hope.
Next Tuesday is
The 19th.
19th.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
At 8 a.m.
Okay.
The huge, you know. Okay, so we are home from the doctor, and basically the doctor's like professional opinion was that because I'm young, that they will max us out at 6 IUIs with oral medication. Then the next step would be 3 IUIs with injectables, and then IVF if we got to that point. So she basically told us like it was up to us in terms of like what we were prepared to do financially and emotionally and all that. So we discussed it, and we are going to move forward with capping it at 6 IUIs. So we'll have one at the end of this month, and that will be 4, and then July and August. And then if those are unsuccessful, then we would have to take a month off and take the class and order the injectables. Cost is going to double, so obviously we're trying to avoid that. So as of right now, we're just moving forward with this IUI, and then we'll have 2 more after this if this month is not successful. So next Tuesday on the 19th, I will go in for a follicle scan, so I will have a video up for you guys around then. Until then, if there's anything else you guys want to see, just let me know in the comments down below. So remember, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you don't miss when I upload a new video. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.